Welcome back for our first fall garden tour. It is October 1st when I'm recording this. I'm going to take you through and show you where everything is. It's very different than a month ago when I was tearing this out. So we'll start with this planter like normal. We have some Brussels sprouts started here. I started these from seed back in, I want to say July. I have two of the purples and two of the greens growing. And then I had started some pink celery. It's kind of the wrong season for it, but I'm trying it. We'll see what happens. So this one's going. This one I thought I killed during transplant, but the center is starting to grow new stalk. And when I thought I had killed it, I planted 3 radishes right here. So by the time these are done, that little guy should hopefully be growing. I am battling these guys, trying to come over from the green belt and bury the acorn that it has in its mouth into my planters. So it's a fun adventure. Anyway, so these are the Brussels sprouts. They're doing good. I am to the point now where I will start to harvest some of these leaves, I think. I harvested some of my first cabbage leaves today, and I'll go over that in a minute. So these tiers here have 3 nasturtium plants every other pocket, and then it has these smaller plants, I think they're called sugar daddy peas, and they're not supposed to get very long. So I have 3 in each pocket that I planted. Not all of them germinated. I'm just leaving it where it is. So I have peas and nasturtiums. This tier has black velvet. This tier has a pink nasturtium. You can see there's a big difference here. Same seeds, big difference. I keep rotating them. And then this one has like a creamy colored nasturtium. And then the bottom is purely the peas, because this is where the squirrels like to try to come and dig. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, the planter is doing great. The nasturtiums are getting some growth. I have been seeing from the window over here, I have been seeing some moths flying by, so I'm gonna have to be checking for eggs here pretty soon, and little caterpillars. But so far so good. So this one, we have kale all across the top. This is that blue Scotch curl kale. I have 2 of those, 2 of the ragged Jack kale, and then 2 of the scarlet kale. I need to thin that one out. But 2 of those. So we have 6 kale plants going, which is awesome. And then we have some collards. All of these I started inside, the collards and the kale. It's interesting, these were from the same seed, so I'm getting a little nervous that something else popped up here, because this is kind of fuzzier, kind of reminds me of kale. This one's smoother, more like the collards that I'm used to, but I did plant multiple varieties, so we'll see. And then I had a whole variety that didn't come up though. And so I planted a few more starts here, and they're just popping. The next row is all cabbage. Now I am not trying to get these into big heads. I'm planning on eating off of these. I can make about this size or a little bit bigger. I can start making cabbage rolls. So this will start replacing some of our greens inside. Now, tonight I harvested a couple of leaves just to add in for color in our soup. So some of these are bigger than others. This is one that has like the purple vein to it, so there is going to be some purple in it. I've got to really keep an eye out for the caterpillars here, because they really like cabbage. One thing I will say is our leaf blower hit a couple of these. Oh, see, that's kind of what this one looked like before I cut the leaves off of. So I'd rather use them before they get all beat up. So I'm super excited. We're getting lots of cabbage leaves in here. The Swiss chard is trying. That's what's all across the second to the last tier here. And then down here I have turnips. And those got hit really hard by the leaf blowers here. So if I get some, I get some. I'm just going with it for now. So you don't get any if you don't plant. So those two. Those definitely have the biggest growth because these are fast growing seeds, and I started inside. I started all of this inside, except for the turnips and a couple of the things I had to fill in. I had to fill in a couple of Swiss chards, and I had to fill in the collards. So then this planter has all kinds of fun stuff. My daughter has her plant up here. She called it Nemo because it reminds her of a sea plant. So here I have some purple bok choy, and then I have some tatsoi planted. Now I need to thin out my tatsoi, but we'll see how these do. We're about to have a little bit of, we're gonna hit 90 a couple of days at the end of this week, so I'm a little worried about those. But other than that, we've been in the low 80s and 70s, which is great. So this tier is all leaf lettuce. I'm trying to go into head lettuce. So I have, I want to say romaine and I think a butter crunch that I have on that tier. And then these are just cut and come again lettuces, and I have a variety. I have some bronze leaf. I have some just different mixes. So I think I have a red one in here. This is one of the speckled ones. So these are all cut and come again. They're doing good. They haven't been planted that long, so they're coming up great. So I have 3 total tiers of lettuce, 2 cut and come again, and 1 that I'm hoping that'll go into big heads. And then this tier is my mustard. And I have giant red leaf mustard, and I have a green mustard. One of the ones that start with K. I really like that one. This tier here is cilantro. 'Tis the season for cilantro. And they're all popping up good. Some are growing faster than others. And the bottom one is really leggy. I threw those in just as a whim because my pansies didn't grow. I was planning on putting pansies down there as an edible flower. And so I threw some radishes in, and they went extremely leggy. So if they produce great. If not, then I'm not worried about it. I'll switch something else into there. But that is what we have going on here. And this one's not out in the open, it's under a covering. So I rotate this one. This gets the least amount of sun, which is why I'm not worried planting these in the heat the same way. It gets way less sun. And so far everything's doing good. It's not super leggy except for the radishes. Everything's growing super fast though. So this will be really pretty from our front door. But that's it. That's our October garden tour. 114 pockets planted. I have 2 regular green stalks and 1 leaf green stalk. We are going to be harvesting tons of food from this all winter long. I'm super excited. I'm hoping we'll get some blooms. If not on the nasturtium, then I will at least have lots of nasturtium leaves for our focaccia and so forth. So that's it. I hope you join us next month. Subscribe if you want to see the next one. We are growing in zone 9B in Northern California. And this is the space I have at our apartments. So grow where you can, where you are. I'd love to know if you have your fall garden planted and if you're growing any of these same plants. We'll see you on the next video.